Hey, you guys, are you excited to be here? I am so excited to be here. I love a Sunday night crowd. You guys are the ones that don't want the weekend in. Right? Yeah. And I am so excited to be here because school starts tomorrow, and I'm a single mom. So let's say hallelujah. Yeah, you know what, you guys? It is hard being a parent. You have to pretend to enjoy all the things your kids enjoy. Like kids' birthday parties, play dates, their father. But you know what? I do surprisingly well on dating apps. And I think it's because my profile says that I don't want kids. Then they find out it's because I have 4. I know 4 sounds like a lot, and it is, but I love being a mom. And you know what they say about having kids? It's a lot like making pancakes. First one's kind of fucked up. Probably should have thrown it away. As far as I know, it's still legal to laugh at that joke. But I think having kids is a lot more like eating pancakes. You always regret having your 4th one. In case you guys were wondering, none of my pancakes like that joke. And you know what? When you have 4 kids, they always think that you have a favorite, and that's ridiculous. I mean, I love all my children. I don't like any of them, but I love them all. Recently my favorite son, Jackson, moved back in with me. Yeah, and that's made it a lot easier to hit on his friends. Don't worry, you guys, he's 26, he's legal, But having an adult kid live with you is like a real role reversal, because at some point I've walked in on all of my kids when they were teenagers, either having sex or masturbating. But the other night, my son Jackson walked in on me and my boyfriend, and I was so embarrassed because my sex swing was on backwards. But you know what? That's what you get when you're one of those psychos who knocks while you're entering. You feel me, right? Are you one of those? Yes, I see you. I see you. But you know what? It's so great because, he shares so much with me now. Like the other day he told me that every girl he's ever been with has asked him to choke them. And I was shocked. I told one of my girlfriends and she was like, well, did you tell him that was okay? And I was like, the choking part or the telling me about it part? My daughter, my 13-year-old, starts Catholic school tomorrow. And I am so relieved because last year at the end of the year, I was driving her home from school and she told me that her sex ed teacher taught her what a blowjob was and even showed them pictures. I know. When did Pornhub become required reading, you guys? I do think my 13-year-old needs to know where babies come from, but I don't think she needs to know how to orchestrate a threesome. Yeah, I guess 12 in LA is like 30 anyplace else. I bought my daughter tickets to see Taylor Swift, and she sold them to go see Tony Robbins. That's my way of telling you guys I live in Santa Monica. But you know what? I actually did get her to go see Tony Robbins, and oh my God, you guys. I mean, not Tony Robbins, Taylor Swift, you guys. Gosh, I don't even remember my own joke. That's how much I need school to start, right? So I did get her to go see Taylor Swift, and oh my God, these Swifties are so nice and wholesome, you guys. Normally, if I took my kid to a concert, I'd worry about them getting roofied or ending up in a mosh pit. But with Taylor Swift, I was just worried we'd leave born-again Christians. You know what? What no one ever tells you when you become a mom is that when you give birth, you actually give birth to your biggest critic. I mean, my kids critique dinner like they're Gordon Ramsay on Hell's Kitchen. They'll be like, this sucks, that's crap, and you look like shit. And that's just when we go to Nobu. I mean, when you have all these kids, I've started to think that like having a kid is kind of like buying a lottery ticket. You always think it's going to pay off, but I just end up smoking cigarettes at a gas station. But you know what? With kids, I think it's really important to, take the high road and teach by example. Like the other day, my 13-year-old was like, you have a flat butt. And I was like, that may be true, but it's better than having a flat chest, nerd. Oh, boy. You know what? I turned 50 this year, you guys. Woo. And you know what? People are really surprised that I don't lie about my age, but I really like being 50, you know? I embrace it. But you know what? If you tell me I look like I'm 50, I'll fucking fight you. But you know what? I really enjoyed my birthday this year. I felt like I'm still young. I'm still vibrant. I'm still dating 26-year-olds. But you know what? I try to be really romantic with these guys. So I write them all poetry. Now, it's always the same poem, but I really am trying. Would you like to hear it, you guys? Okay. All right. Roses are red. Violets are blue. I'm twice your age, but I'll buy an Xbox for you. Oh, my goodness. Do I have a few takers in this room? You know, I have been a little worried. I have bought 11 Xboxes this year. Yeah, none of them were for my children. Please, no one tell them. Oh, boy. You know what also happens when you get to be 50, you guys? Your hormones go crazy. And you know what? My doctor actually prescribed testosterone, which is amazing. You guys have really been holding out. You know what? I feel like a teenage boy, you guys. I'm moody. I'm breaking out. I'm masturbating in socks. The testosterone also had another added benefit. It made me lose a lot of weight. And you know what? People always think it's Ozempic. And I'm like, that is ridiculous. I would never admit that. But it's funny. You know, it's funny how people associate being thin with having your shit together. And people be like, Maggie, you look so amazing. What have you been doing? And I'm like, having a midlife crisis. But you know what? Losing weight is great and all until you happen to get a glimpse of your naked butt in the mirror, and then it's a reason just to never, ever do doggy style again. You know what, you guys? It's not that I don't like my body. I mean, I still feel sexy, and I like it, but it's hard not to compare it to what it was like before, you know? And now my butt is just kind of like a bouncy house that's been at a kid's birthday party too long. I mean, it's sad, deflated, and you know too many people have played with it. But the thing that scares me the most about getting older is what happens to women's hands as they get old, like old lady hands. I mean, my mom sent me a picture of her hand the other day, and, you know, it was so pale and veiny. For a second, I thought it was a dick pic. All right, you guys, I'm Maggie Hyde.